So This Is Love by Four Curious Dad on AO3. Episode 57, Chapter 20. So This Is Love. Everyone seemed to be looking forward to his room. After all, he was one of the two latest added members of the class, and already known as the prettiest boy of the class. Are we even in the same building anymore? Sero and Mina gasped when Todoroki opened the door. There was no trail of a dorm room, but instead a traditional Japanese room. The floor was covered with, the wall was decorated with the wooden coats. Even the balcony side door were replaced by Japanese-style paper doors. This room reminded Sero a lot about Todoroki's room at his residency. However, setting in a new context, as how they could decorate their room with their own personal marks, Sero hoped that, with passing time, he could see more of Todoroki's taste. Right now, he maintained his parents' house style pretty much, the only style he knew and grew up with. So, when did you bring all this stuff? Shinso asked when he saw how different Todoroki's room was. Sensei helped. I felt uneasy without the Tanamiki. Well, why didn't you tell me, or Aizawa when we were home? I don't want to disturb you guys a lot. Besides, now that I'm here, right, and I will stay here more than at your place. Yeah, right, but still, tell us about this dude. While Shinso and Todoroki were discussing, most of 1A class was amazed by Todoroki's room. It was too different from the others. At least, even not too much decoration like Ayama did, or simple/minimalistic style like Soji's room. They could see the similarity of the dorm room, but it disappeared here. How the hell did you manage to do this today? Remodeling everything by yourself? Kaminari whined. The guy was going to win the competition. I tried my best. Todoroki's eyes glued to the floor. Of course my lover tried his best. You're gonna win this competition, Todoroki. Sero hurriedly hugged his boyfriend and gave him kisses on his hair. Yeah, right. We know you guys love each other. Now, move on to the last room. Mina quickly got over it and led the group to the final room for the tour. Do you like the room? Todoroki whispered to Sero while they followed the group. Of course. It's beautiful. I love it. I can't wait until we get to hang out and meet each other in your room. And when we're bored, we could come to mine. Change the whole atmosphere. Sero was proud of his room. It showed a lot of who he was for everyone, especially for Todoroki. He was glad that Todoroki also loved it. However, on the contrary of Sero and Todoroki's expectations, Sato was the one to win the competition, thanks to his dessert. Nobody thought it was a fair decision, the boys at least, but all of them had to agree that Sato was incredible with sweets. Before bedtime, Todoroki was called outside to talk. He had to leave in a hurry and gave Sero a goodbye hug for the night. Hey, Sero, everything's ready now? Mina pulled Sero's shirt and whispered to him. Oh, yes, okay, let's get ready for when Todoroki and the others talk. Sero nodded and followed Mina. The one who called Todoroki out was Tsuyu, the girl who had a frog quirk, and Uraraka, the girl with a gravity quirk. He was not the only one they called. There was Midoriya, Ida, Kirishima, and Yaoyorozu, all of them who got into the rescue mission. Todoroki believed that he did the right thing, and he accepted that sometimes, when he did the right, what he decided could hurt others, like this girl, crying in front of him. Tsuyu was deeply upset because of her own words trying to stop them. She couldn't harbor any feelings alone anymore, so she needed to talk to them, all to get everything straight and go back to the previous harmony time. Todoroki nodded as a reply. He understood what she felt. He agreed with what she said, and he also felt guilty. His action was not coming from a hero's spirit and responsibility, saving a classmate, but it came from his own selfishness and guilt. He had to go, because he felt like he had some responsibility in the kidnapping, indirect or not. He knew Toya/Dabi. He knew his brother, who participated in the kidnapping. But he couldn't say anything to the others because He selfishly wanted to keep good memories between them intact. He hoped that Dabi knew that his identity was discovered. He would stop. He hoped that he could meet Dabi again and convince him to change, reminding him that they were family. After he risked his life, his friend's life, to arrive at the villain's raid, to rescue Bakugo, after all of that, he couldn't see Dabi, not to mention meet and talk to him. All of his effort, besides saving one life, couldn't save his brother. And it was a guilt that Todoroki carried in his heart until the day the truth would be revealed. Hey, Todoroki. One of the girls, Uraraka, approached him. His thoughts about Toya were quickly being stopped and stored away. Yes? Can you go back to the side of the dorm, please? Why? Is there something else? I'm sleepy. You sleepy? But you should go. Can it wait tomorrow? No, you have to go now. No, wait for a few minutes, then go? But you have to go. Uraraka repeated. Then she hurriedly came back to the building. Todoroki wasn't sure how many minutes was few minutes. He waited for 15, just to be sure. He then headed to the back side of the dorm. There was something bright there. Was it fire? Todoroki sped up his pace. The more he got closer, the more he saw it clearly. It was a big space with a lot of lanterns, with bright and warm colors hanging around the poles, brightening up a corner of the dorm. There was laughing and talking. Todoroki stopped right in front of a shaky board with a handwriting that said, UA's Summers Festival. There were students coming from both hero classes, chatting and laughing with each other. Each of them holding some snack or drinks, going around getting to know each other and burning fireworks. Okay, this is not the end. I know this was going to be the end, but turns out I can split this into two. And I'm going to split it into two because, one, it makes my life easier recording, considering the fact that I'm a little behind in recording, because I had a massive migraine that came up, and migraines are not happy. They're not nice. And then yesterday, was my sister's birthday party, so I also didn't record yesterday. So I'm 2 days behind, and you would think that's not that much, except, technically speaking, if I don't record today, it would be 3 days behind, and that's a lot. That's a lot, and that's just a lot. Okay, that's a lot for my comfort. Okay, but I figured out what the next part is gonna be, and it is super exciting. I cannot wait for that, like that whole thing. I kind of read ahead a little bit, my bad, but I'm glad they still had the Suyu talk, and I'm glad that they still kept Todoroki redecorating the whole goddamn motherfucking room, because I'm still amazed by that. I'm like, I'm sorry, what the fuck? Man's redecorated a whole ass room. Okay, pop off, I guess. But I wonder how. There has to be like one-shots just describing and going on about how he changed the whole layout of a room just for that. Like, that has to be a thing, right? Like, something that people talk about on a regular basis, right? Yeah, it has to be. Okay. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.